Good evening and welcome to ITV News. This is Friday night's calendar.
Hello, thanks for joining us. Here are tonight's main stories.
Our hearts are broken. The family of a teenager killed in a hit-and-run crash in Sheffield say he'd only been in the country a matter of months.
He was so excited to be here, so happy. Trying to show him everywhere, like how's England, how's leaving UK, he was so excited. He learning English and happy all the time.
Is the tide finally turning? We're in Bridlington as water chiefs get a bonus ban amid anger over pollution.
Everything should be ploughed back into the system, not frittered away on bonus and dividends.
Disgusted because it should be right, the water. People have to drink the water and go and play in the sea and that, but some kids nowadays can't even do it.
Stay there! Nobody move! Stay there! Stay where you are!
This was the moment Justice caught up with the drugs gang dealing misery along Lincolnshire's coast.
The chips are down for our local fisheries with the rising price of cod leaving them financially battered. And Hull KR aim to become rugby's history boys and pick up their first piece of silverware for 40 years. Good evening. Tributes have been paid to a teenager killed in a hit-and-run road crash in Sheffield, as it emerged that he'd only been living in the country just a matter of months. Abdullah al-Yazidi, who'd come to the city from Yemen, had been walking to meet his father in the Darnall area on Wednesday afternoon when he was hit by a car which then sped off.
The vehicle also collided with the rider of an e-bike who sustained serious injuries. Now, two men have been arrested on suspicion of murder and remain in police custody. Adam Fowler has been in Darnall today, speaking to those who knew him. Good evening, Adam. This really is a tremendous loss, isn't it?
It certainly is. There's been a tangible sense of grief here in Darnall tonight. I'm at the spot where it happened now, and flowers have continued to be brought here throughout the day. I've spoken to relatives, friends of the family, the local imam. All of them say what a tremendous loss it was and how well thought of Abdullah was. He came to this country excited about a new life in Britain, but sadly it was cut short all too soon. Fresh flowers by the roadside in memory of 16-year-old Abdullah al-Yazidi, who died after being struck by a grey Audi. His friends called him Abdul. He was from Yemen and had only been in this country for a few months. Today, outside the mosque he regularly attended, his second cousin remembered how thrilled he was to be in Sheffield.
He was so excited to be here, so happy. Trying to show him everywhere, like how's England, how's leaving UK, he was so excited. He's excited to be learning English and happy all the time. Make everyone happy around him. Can't explain more than that because there's something else. It's kind of over the kindness. That's what I'm going to explain it.
Being in this country, for his family to bring him here for better opportunities, he took advantage of the situation and enjoyed life. He cared for his family so much, and I really think you can look at the character of a man by how much he loves his family, because it shows the gratitude that he has for the people that truly gave him life and nurtured him, and I know he was going on to care for the rest of the world like that. He was a great boy, smiles everywhere. It's just, like I said, a tragic loss to the community.
He'd just been learning English. This footage then shows him innocently playing catch on his way to meet his father. But it was just moments later that tragedy struck. The grey Audi had been travelling at speed on the wrong side of the road. It drove towards three e-bike riders, narrowly missed one before hitting an 18-year-old. Then it hit Abdul, who was on the pavement, before turning around and speeding off. Abdul died later in hospital. The rider of an e-bike suffered serious injuries. Local councillor Kais Saladal says that Staniforth Road has been dangerous for a long time, and now there are fresh calls for road safety measures.
I've been approached by a lot of constituents, and what I'm planning to do now is to do a survey and to get ideas of what the community exactly wants. This could have been any of us. You know, the mosque is there, the shop is there, so it's an issue that it could have been me, it could have been one of my relatives. You know, just peacefully walking on the pavement, and for a car to come and hit you, it's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. We have to take action. We can't just mourn now.
Abdullah was described by South Yorkshire Police as a completely innocent bystander. The loss of this well-loved boy leaves a wound in this community that may never fully heal.
Well, a 23-year-old man has been arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. A 26-year-old man who had been arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender has been re-arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder. And two people remain in custody, and two more people in their 40s have been arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender.
Adam, thank you very much. And you can see more on this story on our website. The address is there on your screens.
Next to the news many householders have been calling for years. Water company bosses, including those in our region, banned from getting bonuses until their services improve.
Nationally, the industry's top brass netted more than £112 million over the past 10 years. Yet, both Yorkshire and Anglian Water were rated as requiring improvement in the Environment Agency's latest report.
Well, Helen Steele's been to Bridlington, where there were calls for the money saved to be pumped back into the town.
Big bosses of the business world gathered in Bridlington for a conference today. But it's the water bosses which are the talk of the town. Today, the government announced senior staff would no longer be able to plunder the profits.
Everything should be ploughed back into the system, not just frittered away on bonus and dividends and what they call them, shareholders.
Anglian Water previously came under fire for giving its former chief executive a £1.3 million payout, despite poor performance. And last year, Yorkshire Water's chief executive received a salary 3 times that of the Prime Minister, plus nearly £500,000 in bonuses. Yet the water here not fit to bathe in, and bills going up.
Disgusted, because it should be right, the water. People have to go and play in the sea and that, but some kids nowadays can't even do it.
Well, water quality has been rated poor here on Bridlington South Beach for a number of years now. Neither of the town's beaches has the coveted blue flag status. And to add to that, one of the worst sites for Yorkshire Water's sewage spillages is around 8 miles over that way. It had 186 spills last year.
Bridlington I love, and I want to be able to swim again.
Familiar faces today welcomed the news. So cutting the bonuses they've announced today, a good thing?
Well, you've got to keep on top of it. There's no question of that. So I'm in favour of whatever is going to focus the mind on actually getting the water clean. It has to be a priority for Bridlington and for tourism in this part of the world.
You want to see it like it was in heyday, right?
I mean, I'm ancient, but I don't know what it was quite like in the year 1900.
Knobbly knees, maybe.
Oh, I'd love a knobbly knees competition.
Is it fair to be asking customers to pay more?
6 months ago, Yorkshire Water boss Nicola Shaw avoided any questions about her payout.
Would you give up your bonus?
So the business, as we've said for some time, is a turnaround.
Today, in a statement, she said she's already made the decision that it would not be appropriate for her to receive an annual bonus this year due to the company's performance on pollution and a recognition that we need to do better for the communities we serve. Anglian Water agreed. Banning bonuses is among other measures announced by the government today.
Banning water bosses' bonuses is only one step towards resetting this sector. We're cracking down with much tougher enforcement, so there are 81 criminal investigations that we've launched into the water companies. We've secured...
While Bridlington will never boast tropical waters, it's hoped this action will bring it back to something like its heyday. Helen Steele, ITV News.
Police searches are taking place this evening for an 89-year-old man who's been missing from home in the East Yorkshire village of Easington since Wednesday. Malcolm was last seen caught on CCTV walking west on Hull Road just after 8 that morning. A full search operation for him is now underway, and people being asked to check CCTV or dash cam that they may have sightings of him on.
Some Hull train services will be cancelled tomorrow due to strike action by ASLEF members. A company spokesperson said 90% of services will operate as normal, but warned there will be severe delays for Hull KR fans that are travelling to London for the Rugby League Challenge Cup final. More on how that's affecting Hull KR's fans heading to Wembley later on. But first to our next story, where 3 more people involved in drug dealing in Lincolnshire have been jailed today at the end of a crackdown on organised crime. Yes, the ABS line, as it was known, moved Class A drugs from the Midlands to Skegness with an estimated value of up to £250,000. Well, Fraser Moore joins us in the studio now with more details about that operation. Good evening, Fraser. Now, these sentences have come at the end of a very long and complicated investigation, haven't they?
Yeah, complicated indeed, Lara. This is operation part of a crackdown on so-called county lines operations. Now, county lines are where drugs are moved from major cities into more rural areas, small towns, just like Skegness, often cuckooing people, vulnerable people in their own homes, keeping them there, using them as bases of operation. But Lincolnshire Police have managed to break 8 of these lines, have made over 70 arrests. We can have a look at some footage of one of those arrests now, like something out of a movie, a high-speed 90-mile-an-hour car chase ending in a field.
Yeah, copy that. We're off into a field. Contact. 2 male occupants. Stay there! Nobody move! Stay there! Stay where you are!
Let go, pull out, come on. Yeah, that's Conor Darwent from Leicestershire being arrested in pretty dramatic fashion there.
Yeah, it's incredible, dramatic footage, isn't it? So what happened to Darwent and the other dealers in court, Fraser?
Well, Darwent himself sentenced to 2.5 years for conspiring to supply Class A drugs and, unsurprisingly, for motoring offences as well. Another person, Liam Tompkins from Hinckley, sentenced to 3.5 years, and Kirsty Riley from Coventry sentenced to 3 years. She was described as a pivotal cog in the supply chain. She was the person who was driving the drugs effectively from Coventry to Skegness. We spoke to Detective Inspector Will Tharby from Lincolnshire Police. He said that it's done a lot to disrupt the supply to Skegness.
The nature of those investigations and these arrests we've made have totally disrupted the capability of those drug lines, so they're no longer operating. It goes without saying that the drug supply within the UK is a continual process, so people do come and backfill. But certainly the impact and the intelligence that we received off the back of this, that Skegness was quite a difficult place for drug dealers to operate.
So police doing their best to make it as hard as possible for the drug dealers. Over 70 arrests, 120 years handed down in prison sentences to those people. Tens of thousands of drugs prevented from getting onto the streets of Lincolnshire. But the war against county lines, the war against the drug dealers is still ongoing.
Fraser Moore, thank you very much.
Well, you're watching Friday's calendar. Thanks for being with us. Still to come before 6:30.
I'm here at a rather quiet Wembley that tomorrow will be filled with thousands of Hull KR fans hoping to witness victory in the Challenge Cup final and hoping to bring to an end a 40-year wait for a trophy.
And it is Friday, of course, so we're talking fish and chips. And have you noticed how expensive they are? Well, on National Fish and Chip Day, there's a warning that the rising cost of cod could see some of our chippies in our region going out of business.
Yes, tightened fishing quotas, vastly reduced fishing fleets and climate change are all contributing to the increase in the cost of fish, while increased energy costs and taxes mean some businesses are struggling to turn a profit. Chris Conway reports.
Often considered the national dish of the UK, fish and chips are a firm favourite. But these people in Orkley near Doncaster say they've noticed the cost of the meal increasing.
Well, it's like everything's going up. It's cost of living and shortages.
Yeah, they have gone up. Yes, yeah. Like you say, especially fish has gone up.
The owner of the nearby Auckley Friary says it's a challenging time.
In the last 6 months, we've had a 42% rise in the wholesale price of cod. That's mostly due to the fact that Norway have cut the catch in the Barents Sea.
Decades ago, the UK's cod fishing industry was booming, but fast forward and today it's a shadow of what it once was. Tightened government fishing quotas and an over-reliance on fish from Norway and Iceland, just some of the factors that have seen chippies forced to put prices up. Michael, who runs a trawler business in Hull, says climate change and international politics have also had a major impact.
Now we have to sort of steam further north, sort of around the Shetland Islands, so that sort of adding extra time onto your fishing trips, obviously extra cost for your fuel.
How much of an impact has Brexit had?
It's had a huge impact. As a country, we had a deal with Norway that gave sort of the UK 13,000 tonnes of fish. After Brexit and the renegotiation of things, the UK sort of ended up with 4,000 tonnes of fish.
That reduction is also mirrored in fishing fleets. Fisherman Arnold says the shrinking armada has proved costly for fish prices.
We're on the bare bones. As I said, it used to be 35 large vessels, like the Victory Rose here. There's 3. You know, there's less than 10%. You know, nothing can stand them kind of cuts.
The government says it's supporting businesses with rate relief and ensuring the smallest businesses are protected from the national insurance rise. But concern remains that some fish and chip shops could go bust.
I think the businesses are worried as to how far they can go with their price increases. But they will continue to deliver a good quality product as much as they can, and it's still good value. We still think it's good value, and hopefully people will still continue to support their local shop.
Those in the industry say recent price rises haven't peaked yet, which means there could be further stormy waters ahead for those selling fish and chips. Chris Conway, ITV News.
Well, the ITV evening news continues at 6:30. Here's a look at what's happening with Lucrezia Mellerini.
Coming up on the ITV Evening News, the latest on the Trump-Musk bust-up in a very public war of words. Are there any signs of reconciliation between the US president and the world's richest man? Also, could you be one of the hundreds of thousands of energy customers at risk of supply and billing problems? We reveal why. Plus, arise Sir David, the former England and Manchester United star, to get a knighthood in the King's birthday honours list. Join me for those stories and more at 6:30.
Yes, Lucrezia, we certainly will. Now, in case you didn't know, tomorrow is the start of the Great Big Green Week, which is the UK's biggest celebration of community action on climate and nature.
Yes, until the 15th of June, it's hoped that 1 million people will have joined together with the aim of protecting the planet. Chloe Oliver has been finding out more.
The Arctic may be melting thousands of miles away, but the consequences of climate change are knocking on our doorstep. Now, at our feet, flash floods and wildfires. But what can people like you and I do to help? That's where the Great Big Green Week comes in. In Hessel, the Eco Club at Penshurst Primary School are running a swap shop.
We're doing a swap for like plants, clothes, uniform, so we don't like go buying new clothes and like buying new stuff.
I want to help the environment, and I don't want people to waste their money on things that they're going to have to throw away soon.
Very important because we need to look after our planet.
I think we really need to do this and have the future generations thinking about it too as well. You know, because it's good for their health if they're being active and if they're growing food and then obviously being sustainable.
From community picnics on the Yorkshire coast to wildlife talks in Garforth. It's the biggest culmination of community events to tackle climate change and protect nature. Organised by the Climate Coalition, they're offering tools and support for groups in our region to create change.
So we do lots of different things. Great Big Green Week is our flagship campaign. It happens every June, that brings folk together to celebrate the action that's already happening in communities and makes that really visible to people. So it inspires other people to get involved and to act, but also shows our politicians and decision makers that millions of people across the UK are building the future they want, and we want politicians to step up and make more action possible.
This group of volunteers are dedicating their time to help clean up our chalk stream rivers. They're known as England's rainforests due to their rarity and biodiversity. And litter like this puts endangered species at risk.
Okay, so that goes at the top.
From waterways to windows, the Salvation Army is one of hundreds of charities lending their support to the Great Big Green Week.
We're very excited to be taking part in Great Big Green Week to encourage people to shop more second-hand and upcycle items. And we've got, lots of stuff out there already. Apparently we have enough clothes to dress the next 6 generations.
It's more than just a week, it's a movement. The Climate Coalition says it's proof that when people come together, even the biggest environmental challenges can be tackled from the ground up. Chloe Oliver, ITV News.
Yeah, we've all got our part to play, haven't we? I always try to buy pre-loved clothes, just a little bit to help. Well, finally tonight, close to 20,000 Rugby League fans will be heading down to Wembley this weekend, hoping to see Hull Kingston Rovers win the Challenge Cup final.
Yeah, surely this will be the year that Rovers end their 4-decade-long wait for a major trophy. They've come so close over the last couple of seasons, but this time they're going into the game as favourites.
Well, Emma Wilkinson is live for us inside Wembley Stadium now. 40 years really is a long time to wait, isn't it?
Yes, for a club the size of Hull KR with its loyal fan base, it really is quite remarkable that they haven't lifted a trophy since 1985. So for the thousands of fans that will be here tomorrow, they are desperate to address that record, and they really feel that Rovers have earned the right to do that. They are top of the league. They've made really impressive progress in recent years to become a leader in the game. They have had their fair share of near misses and heartbreak, but they are heading into tomorrow as firm favourites. The big question, though, is how heavily will that pressure weigh? Their opponents, Warrington, have had a frustrating time in the league, but they have won the Challenge Cup 9 times. But certainly during the training session here, both the Hull KR coach and the players seemed relaxed and confident about the prospect of ending a 40-year trophy drought.
To be honest, it's a real privilege to have that responsibility to be able to do that. So I don't see it as a pressure, or it don't keep me up at night. If anything, it motivates me. It motivates me to make a difference to so many thousand fans who'll be here tomorrow screaming for us, and to send them home up on that motorway with a big smile on the face, and hopefully give them a day to remember.
I think it shows how far the club's come to be, favourites going into a cup final, but that means nothing. We've got to go do a job tomorrow, so that's the most important thing to us now. But there's moments in games, big moments in games that you need to win. We probably didn't do that last year or the year before in the finals. We've had a look at where we sort of went wrong in those games. So for us, it's winning those key moments.
So Emma, close to 20,000 loyal Hull KR fans down there at Wembley tomorrow, but it's not going to be so straightforward getting there, is it?
No, so many fans will be travelling by train via the East Coast Main Line, but the ASLEF union has warned of potentially significant disruption on Hull trains. Its drivers are on strike in a dispute over the sacking of a driver. Hull Trains, however, has said that 90% of its timetabled services are planned to operate as normal. So the advice really is to check ahead. But I think either way, those Hull KR fans will want to find a way to be here for what could be a potentially historic day. That title-winning side of 40 years ago are regarded as historic, iconic in that part of Hull. And the opportunity is here tomorrow to write a new chapter that could also be remembered for a generation.
Oh, well, let's hope so. We'll have our fingers crossed. Emma Wilkinson live in Wembley Stadium. Thank you so much.
Well, as Emma just said there, it could be Rovers' first Challenge Cup win since 1980. Do you know who their opponents were back then?
I've no idea.
It was a test that I thought that you wouldn't get right, that one. It was Hull FC, by the way.
Right.
And it was a Hull derby, yes, in the Challenge Cup final. Yeah, brilliant stuff. Well, Yorkshire TV marked the occasion 45 years ago with this special film called All Hull Let Loose. It followed the fans all the way from Hull train station down to Wembley for the big match, which Rovers won by 10 points to 5 in front of 95,000 25,000 fans. There's not going to be that many there at Wembley tomorrow, but I imagine if they win it, it'll be just as loud from those Hull KR fans.
I know, and there'll be the same amount of excitement as well, won't
Oh,
there?
it really will, yeah. Let's hope the weather plays ball.
Yes, here's Nick.
A clear start makes way for a day of ancient discoveries. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello, a hint of warmth returns to our weather next week, but for now we're heading into a rather cool weekend and we continue to make up for some of the rain that we missed in spring. And plenty of showers to begin the day today, some heavier ones as you can see from the clouds in Lincolnshire. And we had a few sunny spells. They're likely to be limited tomorrow, a cloudy and cool start to the weekend. A brighter day on Sunday, showers throughout the weekend, although Sunday is looking like the drier day of the two. And here's why. A frontal system will move through tomorrow with the showers, perhaps some downpours to contend with. As that clears away, Sunday will be drier and brighter, though still the chance of picking up one or two showers out there. And there are some showers moving through this evening, so don't be caught out by those. For a time, there's a lull overnight, but going into tomorrow morning, the cloud and outbreaks of rain will be gathering once again. With all of that going on, temperatures not falling down too far, most of us in double figures to start the day. Your sun time, so your sunrise tomorrow just after 4:30 and your sunset just before 9:30 in the evening. So we start with cloud and outbreaks of rain. Not a promising Saturday morning. Then there'll be a bit of a lull. May try to brighten up, won't succeed very much because into the afternoon, plenty of quite heavy showers will move through. Gusty winds around these as well. Can't rule out a rumble of thunder. And definitely on the cool side, most of us around 15, 16 degrees or so at best tomorrow. Those showers will fade on Saturday night. Sunday, drier and brighter, though the odd shower can't be ruled out. Will feel better, of course, if you get to see a little bit of sunshine and some sunny spells developing into next week. Still some showers in the forecast, with temperatures rising a little bit. It'll feel more like June should.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather. Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
Grass pollen season, of course, now well underway, and actually we're looking at low levels tomorrow. The weather will play a part in that. As it brightens up a bit on Sunday to Monday, levels will go back to moderate.
Thanks, Nick. Well, there you go. That's the end of the week, isn't it? Enjoyed yourself?
Have I enjoyed myself?
Yeah.
Are you looking for compliments because I've been with you?
Well, pretty much, yeah. And?
You know I don't have favourites, don't you?
Oh, OK, we'll leave it at that then, shall we? Good luck to Hull Kingston Rovers. That's it. See you later.
Have a great weekend.